We don't know why the tunnel under the Temple of the Sun was forcibly sealed with massive boulders 1,800 years ago. There are several theories that have been proposed by archaeologists and historians. One theory suggests that the tunnel may have been sealed to prevent looting or desecration of the temple by invaders or rival factions. The Temple of the Sun was one of the most important religious and ceremonial centers of the Inca Empire and was known to have been adorned with vast quantities of gold and other precious materials. As a result, the temple may have been a tempting target for those seeking to plunder its riches. Another theory proposes that the tunnel may have been sealed as part of a larger ritual or religious ceremony. The Inca were known to perform elaborate ceremonies and rituals in their temples and other sacred sites, and it is possible that the sealing of the tunnel was a symbolic act meant to convey a particular message or meaning. A third theory suggests that the tunnel may have been sealed due to a natural disaster or other catastrophic event. The region around Cusco is prone to earthquakes and other geological phenomena, and it is possible that the tunnel was sealed to prevent damage or collapse in the event of a seismic event. Despite the many theories that have been proposed, the true reason for the sealing of the tunnel under the Temple of the Sun may never be known for certain. However, the mystery and intrigue surrounding this ancient structure continue to fascinate archaeologists and historians to this day. We don't know who built Teotihuacan. It is true that the builders of Teotihuacan, one of the largest and most important ancient cities in the Americas, remain a mystery to this day. The ancient complex was a city located in the Valley of Mexico, about 30 miles northeast of modern-day Mexico City. It was built by a civilization that thrived from about 200 BCE to 650 CE and was one of the largest cities in the world at its peak, with a population estimated to have been between 100 and 200,000 people. Despite its importance and scale, very little is known about the civilization that built the archaeological complex. The people who lived there did not leave behind any written records, and there are no known references to the city in the writings of the Aztecs or other nearby civilizations. This has led to much speculation and debate among archaeologists and historians about who the builders of the complex might have been and what happened to them. Some theories suggest that the city was built by the Toltecs, while others propose that it was built by the Maya or some other group of people. One of the reasons that the builders of the complex remain a mystery is that the city was largely abandoned by the time the Aztecs arrived in the region in the 14th century. When the Aztecs discovered the ruins of the city, they believed that it was the work of the gods, and so gave it its current name, which means the place where the gods were created in the Nahuatl language. Over the years, a number of different theories have been proposed about who the builders of the complex might have been and what led to the collapse of their civilization. Some scholars have suggested that the city was destroyed by invaders or a natural disaster, while others have proposed that it was a victim of internal conflict or social unrest. Despite the many unknowns surrounding the builders of the ancient city, their legacy can still be seen and felt today in the ruins of the city. The massive pyramids, temples, and other structures that they built continue to inspire awe and wonder, and are a testament to the remarkable engineering and architectural achievements of this ancient civilization. What happened to the Aztecs? The Aztecs were a powerful and advanced civilization that dominated much of Mexico in the centuries before the arrival of European explorers. However, their civilization was devastated by a mysterious disease that swept through their population, killing an estimated 15 million people in just a few short years. The disease, which is believed to have been a form of smallpox, was brought to the Americas by European explorers and spread rapidly among the native populations, who had no natural immunity to the disease. The outbreak is thought to have begun in 1520, when Spanish explorer Hernán Cortés and his men arrived in Mexico and began interacting with the Aztecs. The symptoms of the disease were often fatal, with those affected suffering from fever and exhibiting a painful rash that covered their entire body. In some cases, the disease also caused blindness and other serious complications. Despite the devastating impact of the disease, there were some survivors, and it is believed that those who survived were able to develop immunity to the disease over time. This immunity was eventually passed down to future generations, which is why smallpox is no longer a major threat in the Americas today. The impact of the disease on the Aztec civilization was profound and long-lasting. The loss of so many people had a significant impact on the social, economic, and political structures of the civilization, and many historians believe that it contributed to the eventual downfall of the Aztec Empire. The disease also had a profound impact on the Spanish conquest of Mexico, as it weakened the Aztec forces and made it easier for the Spanish to conquer and colonize the region. This conquest had far-reaching implications for the Americas as a whole and laid the groundwork for centuries of European domination and colonization. Despite the devastating impact of the disease, the outbreak also had some positive consequences. It is believed that the outbreak of smallpox in the Americas played a major role in the development of modern medicine, as it spurred researchers to combat the disease. As of right now, the mysterious disease that wiped out the Aztecs was a tragedy of epic proportions, one that had a profound impact on the course of history in the Americas. While we may never know the full extent of the impact of this disease on the Aztecs and their civilization, it is clear that it was a defining moment in the history of the Americas, one that continues to resonate to this day. How did they build such impressive structures? The Aztec Empire, which thrived in what is now central Mexico from the 14th to the 16th centuries, is renowned for its impressive architectural achievements. From the towering pyramids of Tenochtitlan to the intricate canals and causeways that connected the city to the mainland, the Aztecs left behind a legacy of engineering and construction that continues to inspire awe and wonder today. So how did the Aztecs build these impressive structures? What tools and techniques did they use, and how did they overcome the many challenges posed by the environment and the materials they had available to them? The answer to these questions lies in a combination of factors, including a sophisticated understanding of engineering principles, a deep respect for the natural environment, and a willingness to adapt and innovate in the face of changing circumstances. One of the key factors that allowed the Aztecs to build their impressive structures was their understanding of engineering principles, including the use of mathematics, physics, and other sciences to solve complex problems. For example, the Aztecs were skilled in the use of simple machines, such as the lever and the pulley, which allowed them to move heavy objects with relative ease. They were also skilled in the use of geometry, which they used to calculate the angles and dimensions of their structures. In addition to their knowledge of engineering principles, the Aztecs also had a deep respect for the natural environment and understood the importance of working in harmony with the materials and resources available to them. For example, the Aztecs used locally sourced materials such as volcanic stone and limestone to build their structures, and often incorporated natural features such as hills and canals into their designs. Perhaps most importantly, the Aztecs were willing to adapt and innovate in the face of changing circumstances. For example, when faced with the challenge of building a city on a lake, they developed a sophisticated system of canals and causeways that allowed them to connect the city to the mainland and transport goods and materials in and out of the city. They also developed advanced systems of agriculture and irrigation, which allowed them to feed a large population in a relatively small area. One of the most impressive architectural achievements of the Aztecs was the construction of their pyramids, which served as religious and ceremonial centers and were among the largest and most complex structures ever built in the Americas. The construction of these pyramids involved a complex process of quarrying and transporting stones, as well as the use of sophisticated engineering techniques to ensure that the structures were stable and able to withstand the forces of nature. To begin the process of building a pyramid, the Aztecs would first quarry large blocks of stone from nearby quarries, using simple tools such as chisels and hammers. These stones would then be transported to the building site using sledges or rollers, which allowed the workers to move the stones across the landscape with relative ease. Once the stones were in place, the Aztecs used a combination of mortar and rubble to build up the structure, layer by layer. They also incorporated a number of architectural features into their pyramids, such as staircases, platforms, and terraces, which allowed for easy access and provided space for religious ceremonies and other activities. Another impressive feat of Aztec engineering was the construction of their canal and irrigation systems, which allowed them to feed a large population in a relatively small area. The canals and irrigation systems were built using a combination of natural and artificial features, including rivers, lakes, and reservoirs, as well as man-made channels and aqueducts. To build these systems, the Aztecs would first identify sources of water, such as nearby rivers or springs, and then create channels to transport the water to where it was needed. The Mystery of Aslan. Aslan is the name of the mythical homeland of the Aztecs, believed to be the place from which their people originated. The concept of Aslan has played a significant role in Aztec mythology and identity, and continues to be an important cultural and historical reference point for modern-day descendants of the Aztec people. According to Aztec mythology, Aztlan was a place of great beauty and abundance, a land of plenty where the gods themselves walked among the people. However, over time, the Aztecs began to face a series of challenges and difficulties, including drought, famine, and war. As a result, they began to migrate in search of a new home, eventually settling in the Valley of Mexico and founding the great city of Tenochtitlan. However, the memory of Aztlan remained a powerful symbol of their cultural heritage and identity, and became an important part of Aztec mythology and folklore. The concept of Aztlan also played an important role in the Aztec political system, with rulers and nobles tracing their lineage back to the mythical homeland. This gave them a sense of legitimacy and authority, and helped to strengthen the social and political bonds within Aztec society. Over time, the memory of Aztlan continued to evolve and transform, with different groups and individuals interpreting it in different ways. Some saw it as a literal place, a lost homeland that could be rediscovered or reclaimed. Others saw it as a symbolic and metaphorical concept representing the idea of a cultural and spiritual homeland. Today, the concept of Aztlan continues to be an important cultural touchstone for modern-day descendants of the Aztec people. It is celebrated in festivals and cultural events, and has been the subject of countless artistic and literary works. In addition, there is a growing movement among some Chicano activists and scholars to reclaim Aztlan as a symbol of Chicano identity and cultural heritage. This movement, known as the Aztlan movement, seeks to assert the rights and interests of Chicano people and to promote a deeper understanding of their cultural roots and history. The concept of Aztlan remains a powerful and evocative symbol of Aztec culture and history. It continues to inspire and inform the cultural practices and traditions of modern-day descendants of the Aztec people, and has played an important role in shaping their identity and sense of place in the world. As of right now, Aztlan is the name of the mythical homeland of the Aztecs, a place of great beauty and abundance that played a significant role in Aztec mythology and identity. While the concept of Aztlan has evolved and transformed over time, it remains an important cultural touchstone for modern-day descendants of the Aztec people, and continues to inspire and inform their cultural practices and traditions. Whether seen as a literal or symbolic concept, Aztlan serves as a powerful reminder of the rich and complex history and heritage of the Aztec people, and of the enduring power of cultural identity and heritage. So, what do you make of these Aztec discoveries and mysteries? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.